This is the Knights of Lucky podcast. I don't know what episode. I've lost track at this point. I wasn't even going to record this today. But, yeah, I'm like, I had to, because, like, if I didn't record this, I seriously think I was going to stroke out. Oh, boy. So many of you probably have heard about the legendary bikes. That's a Tom Segura reference. By the way, this is going to be like a special angry edition of the podcast where I just sit here and rant and rave. More than usual, to be fair, but still. Because many of you probably know that a while back, I don't care about the antivirus protection, okay? You communists! I know you're just making all these viruses so you can then go ahead and just, hey, give us some of your money so we can protect you from these viruses that we made. It's conspiracy. It goes to the top. That was a joke, but I actually wouldn't even be surprised if something like that. Oh my God. Charles, you better be barking at a burglar. The world better be ending, or there better be a bunch of zombies outside. If so, great, because I'm going to go take a baseball bat and just unload on those things. Just vent. I am so done. I'm so done because many of you know I went like about a month ago and got like a bike for $40 at this like thrift shop place, except the stupid like right crank lever and pedal was all messed up. It broke, it fell off, and for like literally the past month, I would say 3 weeks to a month, my family has been like, oh, we'll fix it. And I'm like, okay. So what happened is I went, got the bike, tried to ride it home from the like thrift shop place. The pedal snapped off the first time, put it back on, snapped it off a second time. Then I had to walk the whole thing, or not the whole thing home, not all the way home, for a brief distance, quite a bit, I'd say, maybe like halfway or something. I was sweatier than any human being that has ever lived. I mean, just like we're in the middle of the jungle hunting the predator, and I'm like covered in mud with a giant like makeshift bow and a torch and like, ah! But no, so it broke that time. Then my mom's boyfriend tried to weld it. That eventually busted off. Not his fault. It's just a really shitty bike. So that's the third time it broke. Then they did it again, and it broke for a fourth time. Then my grandmother gave me her bike to use and whatnot. Then I went biking yesterday, and I got not even a fifth of a block from where it last broke when I went out and rid, and the front tire just popped instantly while I was riding. And I'm not kidding. At that point, I was like near like crying because it's just like my grandparents are like, you know, I understand their point. It's like, well, we should try and fix it, you know, because like we don't always have to spend money on stuff. I get that, but like this bike has broken more times than my sanity. Okay, that's a lot. Comparison wise, I'm losing it. So yesterday, you know, my grandfather came and picked me up, put the bike in the truck. Then he was like, all right, we'll go to Walmart and buy a new bike. So we went there, and I picked out a new bike, and you know, kind of rode it over to my grandma's house, showed it off to her. Then what had happened was, like, while I was riding, my water bottle fell out, and annoying. Then I rode to her house, and just as I was about to start riding back home from her house and whatnot, my headphones broke. The stupid earmuff piece thing popped off, and I was like, oh my God. Then I was riding home and whatnot, and I put my phone like in the little cup holder and whatnot, except right like a block before I got home, I guess I hit like a bump in the road or the sidewalk. Phone flew out of the cup holder and slammed down onto the concrete and cracked the right part of my screen. My phone literally looks like Tom Holland, Peter Parker's phone in Homecoming. It's just shattered. It's just like barely clinging on, you know? Like, good Lord. Gosh, it's just miserable. It still works, I mean, but it's just the stupid thing just broke, and I'm like, good God, just kill me! Please! End me! Put me out of my suffering! And then, today, my mom was like, well, her boyfriend was like, I want to try and fix the thing again. And I was like, well, I already have a new bike and whatnot, so she's been, like, telling me all day, like, you gotta get the pedal, Dalen. Find the pedal and give it to me so I can give it to her. And I'm like, you're stressing me out. And I'm not saying that as, like, a joke. Like, I'm literally, like, about to, like, just mentally break down at this point because I am so done. I am so stressed out right now. That is the loudest fan I have ever heard. But no, it was horrific because I was like, this is literally the thing I would say in my entire life that has stressed me out the most. I'm not even kidding. Like, this bike is like just a curse. Like, I cannot ride a bike. It's like pedal falls off, tires break. Like, I'm cursed, with bikes, and especially that crappy bike I bought. And I'm like, you're literally stressing me out. I can't take this crap anymore. Like, please, just forget the damn thing. I was like, in my head, I was like thinking, like, if somebody brings the topic of that bike up one more time, I'm not kidding. I'm being dead serious. I'm this done with it at this point. I'm literally going to walk the thing over to this park nearby and just pick the thing up and just throw it into the pond. Just like the end of Crisis 3 where he picks up the dog tags and chucks them into the ocean. Or when, like, Anne from, like, Titanic throws the, like, thing into the ocean, the necklace. Was her name Anne? Or was it Jane? I don't know. Who cares? It's a crap movie. I don't care. I'm joking. It's great. Paint me like one of your French girls, Jack. So my mom's like, gotta fix it. I'm like, all right, I'll go find the pedal. So I went and found the bike. I found the pedal, but I'm like, okay, I gotta get this crank lever off. And I'm like, I'm not kidding. I walked out once, saw where the bike was and the pedal and stuff. Walked back inside, got one Allen wrench. It was too big. Went back inside again, got another Allen wrench that was, too small. Then I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm not kidding. I picked that bike up and just threw it onto the porch as hard as possible. I was like, I am flipping done. Like, when I get angry, I get real angry because I'm a relatively patient guy. I can get, pretty, like, impatient at times, but for the most part, because of, me being in the hospital a lot and always being sick and in pain and whatnot, just like my life, I've because of stuff that's happened to me and whatnot, I've learned to be extremely patient. And it's as they always say, it's like when a patient man or woman loses their cool, it gets real bad. Like, I mean, real bad. So for me, like, I am literally like just one more thing. Just one more thing. I'm gonna lose it. I'm not kidding. I'm so done with everything. I am so done. Like, good God. This is miserable. I'll be fine, but this is just annoying the living hell out of me. It's like, I want nothing to do with this. It really is like, it's like a bad ex. It's like a clingy ex, that bike. It's like, I cannot escape it. Yeah, I just can't. I can't. It's like I'm always getting the knock on the door. I'm getting emails. I'm getting invited to group chats with multiple accounts. It's just like they're trying to worm their way back into my life. Just a constant reminder like, hey, remember me? And I'm like, hey, yeah, but I don't wanna. Mother of God, I want to forget you more than anything. Oh, my God. People with clingy exes and stuff will understand what I'm talking about. I've had some in the past. Mother of God. Oh my gosh. But that's the whole, like, story of, like, everything that happened yesterday in my bike. Like, I'm just, like, fucking done. I'm so done. I don't even care I'm cussing in this. I don't give a fuck. Sue me, YouTube. Don't actually. It's hilarious how, like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it to you straight. It's hilarious how, like, YouTube tries to act like we're on the high and mighty ground. It's like, you do realize you committed multiple felonies for years, right? And then you just kept doing them until you got caught. Then when the government came in, they basically were like, we slap you with a little fine, but you're like, how much? How much, And it's ridiculous. It's like, how much? How much do you want? Then YouTube's like, okay, you know what? Screw it. We're going to blame all of the 99% of YouTubers that have nothing to do with this and whatnot. And we're going to create COPPA and just make everybody's lives miserable. That's just so typical of government. Just coming in saying, like, we're going to fix this problem, but you create an infinite amount of more problems. That's a trope of my podcast. I just realized is when I lean in dramatically, I'm like, saying whatever. But no, it's like, you guys just came in and just screwed us all over. It's like, what did we do? I mean, obviously the people that were guilty, yeah, they're at fault. But, like, it's like if your parents were serial killers and the law basically put you and your other siblings in prison for the rest of your life for their murders. It's like, what did we do? We had nothing to do with this. It's just so typical of, like, government and YouTube and corporations to just screw over the hard-working men and women. It's like, you're telling me that all these incredible YouTubers and voice actors and streamers and people, not the ones that are in the hot tubs, get that shit out of here. Listen, if I want to get into a hot tub and just roll around, I'm going to look like Bert Kreischer trying to get out of the bathtub. It's like, Tom, help. I can't swim. These are deep cut references, so if you don't know these things, I don't blame you. But it's like, it's just so typical of them. It's like, we did nothing, but it's like, we're going to punish you anyways. It's like, okay, you go ahead. YouTube will probably eventually just slowly die out and you scum sucking. No, I'm joking. It probably will die out eventually, and YouTube will be like, well, where's all the money? It's like, you screwed us over for years, you jerks. Maybe you should have saved some of that cash you were making all those years illegally. You bunch of communists. This is me just, like, half joking, half ranting, but, like, half serious at the same time. Like, me being 100% serious, YouTube is not a great place right now. It is rough. It is crazy. It's like you're telling me all these great YouTubers can barely get any subs and views and likes, but Jimmy Fallon can't stop laughing at things that are not funny at all, and he gets, like, hundreds of millions of views. It's like, okay, I see how it is. You bunch of jerks. Miserable. Misery. That's what you've chosen. This is going to be basically 99% of YouTube when everything goes belly up. It's like, why are you doing this to me? It's like, you have done that yourself. You turned them against me. It's like, you have done that yourself. It's like, yeah, suck it, YouTube. You'll be feeling it in like a decade when there's no money coming in and everybody's just gone. It's like, well, you are going to go the way of MySpace eventually, my friend. Hold on. Submit your questions in... What the hell? Hold on. No, I don't want to save and exit. No, don't. No, bad. Bad dog. Not bad dog. Bad thing. Son of a... Start new. Please insert your questions, topics, and ideas you want me to talk about quickly, as many comments as you can, because I'm recording this now. Also, if you need advice on stuff, I'm here. Ask away. So, thank you. Sorry, that's me. I always, forget to... I always forget to, to pre-record this and like put out like a video where people can comment on like the stuff they need. Questions, ideas. There we go. Can I copyright claim myself? Loophole. It's like, oh God, it's like every day I wake up and hear a new thing that YouTube's done, and it's like, good God, can you please stop? Please, just stop already. We can't take this. But, no, it's just, I don't know. It's just like, I love YouTube as a site, but I also, like, I'm not going to sit here and ignore all of the ridiculous crap they pull. But, you know. Anywho, but, yeah, I reacted to Loki yesterday, episode 1. It was fantastic. It was funny. It was unique. I like it because it's so, like, wild. It feels very different, you know? It's like there isn't this giant, big action set piece. It's much more just like a character piece, a character study, which I actually really, really enjoyed and liked. Like, don't get me wrong, I like action. You know, I love the opening Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I also like, you know, just a kind of a fresh idea where it's like, this is just more going to be like a mystery character piece. Like, I don't mind that. I think that's pretty interesting. And man, it was brutal emotional. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's, you know, like a couple minutes where I'm like just like about to break down and cry because it was so sad. But it is real interesting because it actually seems like the kind of idea. I mean, to be fair, this was an idea that basically the entire fandom laid out. So it's like, it's nice that this probably is going to be true. I won't spoil it, but I basically made a guess, an educated guess based on what I knew about the show and the comics and stuff on who said mystery character is, because there's this mystery villain in the show that these people are tracking. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but you find out in episode 1 at least who they are, not specifically who they are. It's a long story. Just go watch it. It's great. But I watched it and it was great, and I've been watching reactions of it all day from other YouTubers. It's so nice to like finally be a part of this because, like, I mean, to be fair, I am a lot like more simplistic and just chill when it comes to this stuff. Like, I don't have like footage I show of the actual show to line up with my reactions. I'm not that rich here. Okay, the budget here is very minimum. You know, besides, I don't know how people get that stuff. I think you probably have to like submit a license to whoever like makes the stuff. Then they'll be like, yeah, sure, you can use some stuff. Here's some stuff, I guess. I guess that's how it works. I don't know. But, you know, me, I actually take the easier route. I completely sidestep all of that because other people, you know, famously reaction channels, you know, they're really difficult because of YouTube and their whole copyright stuff, which is another thing to add to the list that they're really bad with. You know, like, you remember back in the day when you could just, like, upload a clip from your favorite movie, and it's like, now it's like Homeland Security breaks into your home, they flashbang you. It's like, what's your name? What are you doing? Show us your computer and phone. It's like, what's going on? It's like, I was just watching this show. It's like, so you do admit to it. It's just like, no, it's hilarious these days. But, oh my gosh, man. But, no, it's just like, because notoriously they're really tricky with copyright, because you upload a video, then YouTube will, like, copyright claim or strike or whatever. It's like, this so-and-so ain't gonna fly. Using too much material here, or this or that. Like, that stuff at the moment is way too complicated for me. I'm gonna have to, like, if I am gonna do that eventually, which I would like to, kind of make things look a little more official here on this low-budget podcast, where I'm sitting here at my desk with a Blue Yeti microphone. Not sponsored by them, by the way. I'm not sponsored by anybody, clearly. But if anybody would like to sponsor me, I'm open. Yeah, sure, I'll eat your weird snacks. Sure. I'll wear your underwear or... Wait, no, that came out wrong. your product, which is like underwear for people that use it. It's... God, this is miserable. But no, it's like 88 degrees out right now. It's so hot. It's like not even the middle of June yet, and it's already like death. Kansas is where I live, in the good old state of Kansas in the US of A. America. And it's funny, because it's like the saying here, if I remember correctly, is like, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes and it'll change. And it's hilarious, because it really does. Because like half the year, it's absolutely snowy, gray, frozen cold, like... Then the other half is like, you literally feel like you're just falling into the sun. It's so hot outside. It's like it's like walking through soup, is what I imagine. It's like literally walking through a sauna. You can just feel just the heat and the moisture. I can take dry heat better. Humid heat, that's where it's like, yeah, that ain't great. We're in a little trouble here. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's just, But it's a great show. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. And whatnot. So, it's cool. I really like it. I'm really excited. I can't wait. After this, actually, I might actually... Yeah, why the heck not? Well, I don't know. I might not upload this, because this is going to take a lot longer. Because this, even if I upload this, well, maybe it could come out today. Maybe. Well, yeah, I might just do that. I'll just upload this one first. Well, actually, no, what am I talking about? It's Friday. No, I won't upload this today. I'll upload this on Saturday, June the 12th. The year of our Lord. Why do people say that? Where does that come from? Who knows? Anywho, yeah. So, that should be interesting. But today, I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do some fun stuff. Some fun. I'm gonna react to, like, a few trailers today, I think. They just released, like, the new Battlefield, like, gameplay trailer stuff. And me, I'm a huge Battlefield fan. So, like, I'm gonna react to that quick. I'd like to do one to, like, the Eternals, maybe, and the Let There Be Carnage trailer, like the Venom one. I haven't watched that. So I might just do, like, a trailer or two to react today. Just a little content, because it's like, I'm not totally strict on my schedule now, because it's summertime and I'm rescheduling. For now, I'm basically trying to stick to my current schedule as much as possible. Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. For now. But it's not going to be 100% solid. Like, there are going to be some days where it's like, oh, I can't record because of stuff. So, but other than that, for now, it's kind of just like a loose schedule. Like, I'm following my schedule, but it's not, like, going to be rock solid all the time like it's been. And, when I do get my schedule, as like a little gift to everyone, I'm going to release, like, a bunch of just free content, I think, because, sorry, because I know it's like people are, like, on Patreon and on YouTube, they're really wanting my stuff, and it's just not coming, like usual. So I'm going to do a bunch of free content, it's kind of a gift, sorry, if you will. A Jurassic World, if you will. That's from Honest trailer I watched today. Anywho, so yeah, that should be interesting. So, what else? I've been getting into Legos lately. That's fun. That's cool. That's interesting. Legos. So, because I'm a nerd, I used to play with Legos all the time when I was a kid. I was the biggest Lego guy. Then when I kind of got my teen years, I didn't buy them as much. But like now, I bought like a Lego set once, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm addicted to these again. So I went out and bought a couple of them. I already built what did I build? I've built half of the AT-ST Walker from The Mandalorian, which, don't worry, I'll be putting out a part 2 to that very soon. Sometime probably next week, or this weekend maybe. Very soon, basically. Within under a week. I'm also, I already built the droid AAT, which were armored assault tanks. That's the, what do they call it? Anagram? Code? What do they call it? Acronym, I think. Yeah, acronym, I think. That thing, I built that. That was cool. So I'll show that off sometime. I also have like an old bucket of Legos I've been building like environments and things with. Mocks, as they say, my own creations. So that should be cool. I also got a 2 other ones, old sets I had. It was like the Battle on Hoth. Another one, it's like the Eclipse Fighter. And also I bought funnily enough, I actually found the last one. They finally got one more in stock, and it was on sale for $40 instead of $50. It was Luke Skywalker's X-Wing from A New Hope, Red 5, So I'll build that too sometime. It seemed like a lot of people actually have been enjoying like a lot of my different content lately, which is nice. I'm glad for that, because I really do like doing all this other stuff. It keeps things fresh and fun and interesting. So yeah, a lot of you seem like you're enjoying it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I'll still keep doing audios and stuff regularly, obviously, but it's nice. Another thing I want to thank everybody for is recently, you know what? I'll look it up right now while I'm at it. I released a with your, what is it, like your best friend's older brother, an audio like that. That was a surprise hit. I mean, it's like a couple thousand views. It's like over 2,000 views, which, I mean, compared to my other stuff, which I've had as a lot. By the way, I'm not blaming anybody for this. It's just the algorithm YouTube is doing. So it's not any of you other YouTubers or subscribers' faults. It's not yours. So it's just the algorithm. Zemo. Your life will be a zero sum. If anybody gets that, that's great. But yeah, so I saw it and it was a surprise hit, compared to how I've been doing lately. Because lately I've been getting like a couple hundred views for most of my videos. But, recently this one, surprisingly, was a huge hit. It's got almost 3,000 views now, 2,777, which is pretty crazy, because like this is the best video I've done in a while, like views and likes wise. Like this is a surprise hit, because like me and a lot of other people, I know some other people that are getting hit by the algorithm pretty hard, especially the community right now. There are a lot of people that are still doing fine and just making boatloads of views and money and whatnot, but there are a lot of the other half of it, half are doing good, half are doing bad, basically. And I'm a part of the half that's doing bad. I haven't been doing great lately because of the algorithm, but this shows that, like, yeah, the algorithm might be letting up, basically. So I might be making a comeback, essentially, hopefully. So I just want to thank you all for that. I will be doing a multiple part series of this. This is actually one of the videos I had the most fun making and I was most satisfied with, just as a whole, like with the thumbnail I made, just the overall story and acting. It was just a simple but because I hadn't done one of these, you know. I was like, I was just kind of brainstorming. I was like, that'd be an interesting idea. So I went ahead and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. So I'm going to be making more videos like this in this same vein, like this quality level and whatnot. Because it seemed like everybody liked this. A lot of people like this. So I just want to thank everybody for that and whatnot. And there have actually been a couple other videos I've been doing that have been doing pretty chill, pretty good. Like little shorts I've been doing a lot. Because it's like, I thought I was like, yeah, I'll just do like funny little shorts and updates and my everyday life and what's going on. Like me trying my first beer. Me, like... talking, like, doing something about, like, the Pentagon came out, and it's like, yeah, there are, like, UFOs everywhere. Me feeding some fish. Me chilling with a bunch of ducks while I was fishing a while back. Like, those have surprisingly gotten a couple thousand views, which is nice. That's neat. Another one that's been doing pretty good, too, is the Yandere Stalker one. So that's cool. Another one, a great one, too, is the Tsundere Classmate. Those are getting a couple thousand views, so they're doing pretty good. So it seems like I'm kind of like slowly getting back to where I used to be. So I just want to thank everybody for, you know, your support and patience and everything lately. It's been really nice, honestly. So yeah, but let's get into some news. So a cool thing that I just read about is that it's rumored just recently that Bosk, the Trandoshan badass bounty hunter from, you know, Star Wars and whatnot, the Clone Wars, you know, obviously famously he made a cameo in The Empire Strikes Back, and he's been in other, you know, games and, you know, shows and comics and books and whatnot. He was the, like, lizard guy in the yellow jumpsuit in the Clone Wars. And, you know, in Empire when they were, like, Vader was talking to the bounty hunters. And it's reported that in the new Boba Fett show, which is coming out later this year, which I am unbelievably hyped for, because a lot of you know, Boba Fett is my favorite Star Wars character next to Darth Revan, Mando, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love him so much. He is so cool. You know, I cosplayed as him for Halloween. Like, I was 17. I was like, well, this is my last year. I'm going to be able to go out and do stuff for Halloween. So I went out and did that, and it was really cool. So, yeah, that was neat. So I'll have to track down that photo and post it at some point, because it's pretty crude by, you know, most standards, but for, like, just literally, like, my first time cosplaying, I actually did a pretty decent job. And I did, you know, a whole lot better, I think, than that with my Mando cosplay, you know, I did last year. And this year, what I'm going to cosplay as is probably, I'm going to cosplay as Bucky, you know, in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You know, his kind of like black, blue, you know, like his blue vest suit, you know, that suit, you know, he's featured in, you know, the most on promotional, is that it? Promotional, I don't know what the word is, promotional material and stuff, and in the show, so I'll go as him probably later this year. You know, I dress up, and I just, you know, I cannot speak. What I do for Halloween, because I obviously don't go out, is what I do is I will dress up in my costume, and I'll, like, go to the store to get, like, you know, some candy and whatnot, is what I do usually. I'll, like, I'll wear my costume, go to, like, Walmart or some store, pick out some candy and other stuff and whatnot, and show it off to other people and whatnot. Then I'll come home and just sit, chill, hand candy out to, you know, kids that come by and whatnot. And it's really fun. It's really nice. Like, I remember one year I won a Spider-Man in this is what I did, like, costume-wise. 2016, I went as a really crappy version of Daredevil from the Netflix show in his black suit. Then the next year I did Boba Fett in 2017. So 2016 I did Daredevil. 2017 I did Boba Fett. 2018 I did Daredevil in his season 3 black suit. 2019 I went as Spider-Man in his cool red and black suit he made from Far From Home. Then last year in 2020 I went as Mando from The Mandalorian and whatnot, which I think has been the best cosplay I have ever done. I remember I went to the store like the day of Halloween to like get some more materials to put everything together and whatnot, and I went out and got some stuff and some candy and things and whatnot, and it was one of the most like I was a total dork. I don't care if I'm like, if people are like, oh, look at this nerd. I don't care. It makes me happy. I like it. I like being a nerd. What's wrong with you? What problem do you have, huh? It's just, I mean, good Lord, man. It was so much fun doing that. I like being a nerd. Like, nerd stuff makes me happy, you know? It really, really does. Like, when I'm just chilling and goofing off and having fun, and like if I like buy like, oh, this really nerdy thing, like I got the Darth Revan lightsaber, which I'll be doing a review of soon. You know, it's really cool. It's honestly extremely cool and whatnot, you know. It just makes me happy. Like I light up the lightsaber the first time and start swinging around and doing some moves and whatnot, and I'm just grinning from ear to ear. Like, nerd stuff makes me happy, you know? Like, if stuff makes you happy, who gives a crap? As long as it's not bad stuff, obviously. But like, if stuff makes you happy, it's like, oh, you have a hobby or a thing you like, it's like, power to you. Makes you happy, go for it. Have fun. It's totally fine to do that. So, yeah, nerd stuff makes me really happy. You know, I like it, so. Don't worry, I'll get back to the, like, nerd news. But I just wanted to talk about this for a sec. But I went to Walmart to get some candy and other supplies to finish up the costume, because it was basically done. And what I did was I went ahead and went with my grandmother. She was like, okay, I gotta get some stuff too, so I'll take you and whatnot. So I showed her off, and I walked in, and instantly, it was like, instantaneously, as soon as I walked in, you know, into the entrance of the store, you know, I looked around and whatnot. I was like, okay, where do I need to go to get the candy and supplies? 2 little kids came up to me, and like, I think one was like Venom and another was Optimus Prime, and they came over and they just started looking up at me like, whoa, and it was hilarious. It was so adorable. It was like they were smiling and just in awe. It was so neat. I went walking around, and everybody was like, whoa, and whatnot. And I remember I was like picking out some stuff, and I had the whole costume on. And I remember I was in one of the aisles looking at some stuff, and I like heard, and like through like my peripheral vision, I like saw this guy and heard him say, like, all of a sudden, like so loudly, he looked over at me and he was like, oh my God. And he looked over and saw me as Mando and just like flipped out, and I was like, oh, that made my day. You know, it's like, oh my God. He just lost it. If you haven't seen it, I'll like post, you know, a picture of it, you know. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Like, I'll post a picture like at some point in this episode of the podcast. It's also on my Instagram at The Real Lucky ASMR on Instagram. You can check it. I got like a whole slideshow of me taking pictures and whatnot and stuff. You know, so that's really cool. So, you know, check that out if you want to see it. So this year I'm going to be going as Bucky Barnes. But back to, you know, and whatnot, back to whole Star Wars stuff. Bosk is going to be featuring, which kind of makes sense because Boba Fett, you know, because he was a bounty hunter, you know, throughout the, you know, early parts of the Clone Wars and whatnot, then after the fall of the Jedi, during the Purge and whatnot, and then throughout the Age of the Empire and whatnot, and now moving on into the post-Return of the Jedi, Mandoverse timeline. He was a bounty hunter. So he worked with many other people, and one of the people, his biggest competitors, but people he also worked with, was Bosk. And Bosk is known as like the number 2 bounty hunter next to Boba Fett, throughout. Because he worked with him at a young age during Clone Wars after Jango Fett, his dad, died. And whatnot. So it would make sense that he would suppose. I don't know if it's going to be a cameo or just like a small role, but I would say it's probably pretty likely that he will appear, because if I remember correctly, it's so nice being a nerd, because it's like you have a vast area of knowledge you cover. Because it's like one of these days, like I'll get on like a game show. And I'll just, if it comes to any pop culture or literally any nerd stuff, I'm going to be like, I got you. I know basically everything. Not everything, but pretty much. But, no, that was the thing, was, it would make sense because he worked with him quite a bit. And canonically, if I remember correctly, basically, I think, during the Age of the Empire, or after the original trilogy and whatnot, after Return of the Jedi, in canon he retired, but he still could come out of retirement, because Boba Fett, basically, spoiler alert, the show's been out for almost a year now. In Mando season 2, Boba Fett was revealed that yes, he was alive, somehow he got out of the Sarlacc pit, which I am assuming that later this year in the book of Boba Fett, we will most likely, I would say almost 100% guaranteed that we will see how the heck did Boba get out of the Sarlacc pit. Because that's something people have been wondering for ages. Because in the old expanded universe and stuff, in a couple books, it was revealed that yeah, he got out. But there wasn't ever really any big definitive legit stuff in a movie or a show or anything until now, it seems like. So it's kind of been fairly mysterious, because it seems like he might have got out with a combination of the Tusken Raiders and the Krayt Dragon and whatnot. It's still very iffy. I would say it's probably a combination of the Krayt. What I would guess is it's probably the Krayt Dragon. He got out because of the Krayt Dragon ate the Sarlacc. He somehow got vomited out or spit out or fought his way out. Then basically the Tusken Raiders took him in, which is why he was wearing the Tusken Raider robes, and he had the cycler rifle and gaffy stick, which is what Tusken Raiders are known for wearing and using. But it would make sense, because it's about kind of Boba has come out of retirement, because for years he was just kind of wandering Tatooine, basically. And now he's out of retirement, and he's back into the universe. So it would be pretty interesting if it was because now, not just Mando is the biggest bounty hunter in the galaxy, you got Boba Fett. So it would make sense if they brought him back. But also there have been some rumors, and people have talked about it, that maybe Cad Bane could be appearing, because Cad Bane is also, I actually have a bobblehead of him from the Clone Wars, which I have, which is beautiful, by the way. I guess if anybody wants to buy it, make an offer. But talk to me. But no, he was a bounty hunter that Boba Fett worked with. He was kind of his mentor. He was a Duros that primarily was seen in the Clone Wars television show, and during the prequel era, during the Clone Wars. And the thing is we never really found out what happened to him definitively. Because basically, I'll try and, shorten this as much as possible. When Disney bought Star Wars from George Lucas, basically what had happened is the Clone Wars animated series got canceled. Season 6, they ended with Season 6, and the show was canceled. And they were going to do, Season 7 and maybe even some more stuff and whatnot. But the thing is nobody really knew what was going to go down, because all that stuff was scrapped because it got canceled. And one of the subplot storylines from season 7 that they didn't actually put in season 7. So maybe we'll see something like this adapted in the Boba Fett show or the Bad Batch or some other stuff. I don't know. But one of the storylines was basically a couple of Boba Fett's friends were kidnapped by Cad Bane and whatnot. And he was like, yeah, I ain't going to take this crap. So he went to Cad Bane and whatnot. And they showed, you can actually look this up. Dave Filoni at one of the Star Wars celebrations uploaded the sort of rough animation version and whatnot. So you can look it up on YouTube. Just look up Boba Fett versus Cad Bane, whatever. And it was revealed that basically one of the storylines was, like I said, Boba Fett, his friends were captured by Cad Bane, and he went and got into a duel with him. A classic Western duel where they both, were sitting there and drew their pistols from their hips and whatnot. And they both got into a duel, and what happened was they got into a duel. Boba Fett shot and killed Cad Bane, but Boba got hit by Cad Bane, but lived just barely. He barely got by, because what happened, it was revealed that, obviously, many of you may know, if you know Boba Fett, he has the iconic dent in his helmet. And it was revealed that Cad Bane shot him in the head during the duel and whatnot, and that's how he got his iconic dent in the helmet. Which is kind of weird, because it's sort of like a retcon, because in one of the earlier episodes of the Clone Wars, Boba tried to kill Cad Bane, but he used his father's helmet. But the weird thing is that first and foremost, in The Mandalorian, it was revealed that was the armor that Boba Fett has worn throughout all the years was just his father's armor he repainted. But he basically put a bomb in the helmet and tried to kill Mace Windu with it. But he blew up that helmet and whatnot. So first of all, it's well, that was his dad's helmet, so why does he say, oh, this is all my dad's armor? It's that helmet literally doesn't exist anymore. You blew it up. But also at this point, that doesn't make sense, because it's why does it already have the dent in it? I know it's just a retcon because they didn't think of making that storyline at the time, but it's it's a really weird, messed up thing, But so that's interesting. But Cad Bane is, he was known as the bounty hunter in the prequels, the Clone Wars, next to Jango. So it's really interesting that they might bring him back, because that was never released and whatnot. We still don't know we don't know what happened to Cad Bane, because that's not official. It was never released officially as a part of the show. So that isn't, canon or anything. So this opens up the door for Cad Bane to come back, which he totally could. And it would be amazing to see him in live action, because when you think about it, if there was a villain Boba Fett was ever going to fight, Cad Bane would be the dude. Imagine, it's Cad Bane comes out of retirement after he hears Boba's back. Because, spoiler alert, at the end of Mando Season 2, it was revealed that Boba basically killed Bib Fortuna and is now leading the Hutt cartel. He's in Jabba's palace and he's leading that with Fennec Shand. So it's interesting, because it's that would be a great way to introduce other classic bounty hunters and whatnot, and new ones if you want. You could obviously, I would almost say guaranteed we're gonna get some little cameo by Din Djarin in Boba Fett, because if I remember, there was recently an article they said, as the creators basically came out and said, just like today, Boba Fett Season 1, which it's rumored that it's going to get multiple seasons. Let's be honest here, it's Boba Fett. Disney's going to milk the shit out of that, and I am all for it, because Dave Filoni is taking over this stuff with Jon Favreau, and they are going to do Star Wars justice. But no, it's interesting, because they said basically Boba Fett season 1 is just going to be Mando season 2.5. You know, they're basically going to pull a Captain America Civil War. That is a deep cut reference for you. But yeah, it's interesting. It really is. It's cool. But sorry. No, it's really cool, honestly. I like it. You know, I like that idea of like them possibly bringing back bounty hunters, because it would make sense. Like, people would be like, "Oh, Boba took this over. We want to challenge you and take the Hutt cartel for ourselves." That would be a great premise. That's what I think it's going to be. It's going to be a combination of, you know, the life of Boba Fett and whatnot, a lot of flashbacks and because I think they've said it's what it's going to feature a lot of is basically Boba Fett's life. You know, like him at a young age during the Clone Wars. What was it like after, you know, the Jedi Purge and whatnot when the Empire rose? What was it like during the Age of the Empire and after and whatnot? Kind of showing off his life in multiple episodes while also kind of having a current storyline with the whole, like, Mando timeline, you know? So that's what I think it's probably going to be. It's a combination of both. And I think it would be a pretty interesting premise. My prediction is it's basically the present storyline is going to be other bounty hunters and people are now hearing Boba Fett's alive and he's in control of the Hutt cartel, and people now are going to try and challenge him and take over that. And that would give them the opportunity to bring in all of these other... You could make some new characters, too, to bring in, but also returning characters. You know, mainly a lot of bounty hunters. Like, we could see, like, Bosk, obviously. Cad Bane, that would probably... I would say that would be the perfect villain, would be Cad Bane. Kind of as like an old rivalry, like, I was your master, I taught you all of this stuff, and now you're just gonna take over, I want this, you know? Kind of like that. Like an Anakin and Obi-Wan sort of thing, you know, would be really interesting. Plus, it would be amazing just to see him in live action, and practically, it would look amazing. I can already tell it would look amazing, like a live action Cad Bane. He would look so cool, and they could pull it off, you know. But it's really interesting. It really is cool. Like, that is my prediction. Is basically Boba's in control of the Hutt cartel, and bounty hunters are now challenging him for control of that. They're coming out, so we could see, you know, that's how we could get a return of Bosk. Obviously, Cad Bane. We could see some other ones like Zuckuss, Forlom, Dengar. Dengar should be alive around this time. Also, you know, maybe even like an alternate version of like IG-88. Even though, canonically speaking, the last IG model blew up by the second Death Star. Because basically, IG-88 droids are these really advanced assassin droids, and they wanted to cause a droid revolution and literally go all Terminator and kill all life in the galaxy. So what happened is one of the droids snuck onto the second Death Star and was trying to plug in its mind into the Death Star so it can control the Death Star and just kill everything. But luckily, Lando Calrissian and the rebels blew up the Death Star, eliminating the last model. So that probably rules him out. But you could do some cool stuff. But that would be interesting. You know, that's an interesting premise, I would say. So yeah, that's neat. So that's nerd. So one piece of nerd news. Let's see. Let's look up some Marvel and DC. Yeah, son. Let's see. Man, let's see. Oh yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi series is currently it's currently filming right now. Ewan McGregor has been said like he's having so much fun, which good for him. Good for him. He's doing great. He's doing great. Good for him. So let's look up some Obi-Wan news. Because if I remember correctly, there's going to be... They just released some stuff. Is that Liam Neeson, the man, the myth, the legend, has recently come out and said, yeah, I'm not going to be appearing as Qui-Gon Jinn. And you know what I say to that? Bullshit. Most of the time, it seems like when people are like, I'm not going to appear in this. I haven't been called. Nobody has, talked to me. I haven't been requested. Like, most of the time when it comes to this stuff, it's obviously bullshit. And I understand why they're doing it, because it's like, we don't want to spoil anything. We can't really reveal stuff because of, rules and agreements and contracts and stuff. So I understand. But, I would say, I would guarantee it, he's going to appear. Because it would make the most sense, because Obi-Wan is going to be on his exile on Tatooine, and he's going to have a lot of time to think about stuff. And it would make sense that if they ever were going to bring back Qui-Gon Jinn, this would literally be the perfect opportunity. Because it's like, he could Force Ghost and be like, Obi-Wan, did you train the... Oh, shit, you screwed everything up. Damn it, Obi-Wan. I can't do a Liam Neeson. I foresee you will become a great Jedi Knight, and you're a much wiser man than I am. But no, I would guarantee he's gonna pop up. It's probably likely. I mean, right? I could get him in. I could put him in a cameo or two. I think also they said there are going to be some special cameos and stuff, which I would guess. Okay, here's what he said. He's teased that there are going to be some very special... There's a very special cameo. There's some iconic classic Star Wars characters and whatnot that are going to pop up. He also said that there's going to be a return of Stormtroopers, which is cool. Because this is a couple years after Revenge of the Sith, most likely. So this is when the Empire is in its infancy and it's ramping up. So this would be, this would be pretty interesting. So, so that's interesting. But he said, there's going to be there's going to be stormtroopers and whatnot. He also said he had another scene with some Jawas and whatnot, which is cool. The iconic little Utini characters. I love the Jawas. They're hilarious. And whatnot. And obviously, it's been announced lately that Hayden Christensen is coming back to play Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. And a while back, they said that the Obi-Wan series is going to have the rematch of the century. So we're going to get a rematch between Anakin and Obi-Wan. So Anakin is now Darth Vader and whatnot, and Obi-Wan is, this depressed hermit. So at some point, we're going to see this, epic battle. If they can get something on the level of the iconic Battle of the Heroes fight in Revenge of the Sith, I am on board. Because I can already tell, when this show comes out, I am telling you, this is going to be groundbreaking. This is going to be insane. I cannot, I can't express how important and big this show is going to be. Because when you look at what people have been asking for years now, is one of the number one thing, and for me it's Boba Fett, but that's personally what I think, but I agree that the number one thing everybody wants to see was an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie or show or something. And now we're finally getting it. So that's going to be incredible, man. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. It's going to probably be one of the biggest pop culture events of the entire decade of the 2020s. 2020s. But no, it really is going to be just groundbreaking, unbelievable, huge. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. So I'm excited, man. I am so excited for it. It's going to be coming out next year, most likely. Star Wars is doing great now. We got a bunch of games coming out, we just got the Bad Batch, which is awesome. The Boba Fett show's coming out later this year. There's a ton of Star Wars news and stuff going on. Comics are doing, we're doing great. Star Wars is in the best spot it's been in years, I would say. Like, people have said, Star Wars is dead, it'll never be good again. But I'm like, no, have hope. Don't be like Obi-Wan or Yoda. Be like Luke Skywalker. Have hope that there can be redemption, because there is a new hope on the horizon. And I always said, I don't believe that, I don't believe that Star Wars is dead and it can never be good again. And now all this stuff is coming out, and it's honestly doing good now. It's doing really good. So I'm like, Star Wars can be redeemed, don't give up hope. As much as you may hate the sequels and some of the stuff they did, which I understand, I actually surprisingly liked them. I really did. The Last Jedi, I would say, is my third favorite Star Wars film. 3, The Last Jedi, 2, Revenge of the Sith, 1, Empire Strikes Back. I'm not saying that as a joke to anger somebody. I really like the sequels, surprisingly. I like all Star Wars and stuff. I appreciate everything for what it is. I acknowledge the bad, but I also, praise the good, I don't just crap on everything like, this is garbage and this is why. And if you don't agree, you're an idiot. It's like, really? As soon as you drape yourself in the holier than thou, I'm smarter and more educated than you, it's like, just shut up. Good fucking God. You fucking neckbeard with a microphone. Go fucking take a walk, you dork. I'm an example of a good dork. I don't sit around on threads arguing about shit all the time. It's a waste of time. Enjoy stuff. Go out, have fun, live your life. Don't waste your time with just petty shit like that. That's my advice. Speaking of advice, let's see if we got some questions here. But yeah, so that's kind of the news for now. But yeah, so let's see. What do we have here? I also sometime soon I want to do another impressions video, because I got a bunch of ones I want to do, like a Clint Eastwood, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Kyle Reese, I got a lot of stuff. So stay tuned for that stuff. Now let's see. We have one comment. Oh my. No, I don't blame. Okay, here we go. From Lil Mania. How could you support a friend who can't see the good in themselves and refuses any form of help? Like I said, I'm not a therapist or licensed anyone. I am a dorky nerd with a microphone sitting in his room. But I'll try and help you out. How do you support a friend who can't see the good in themselves? So basically, they're good deep down and whatnot, but they just they don't think they're good enough. Or they're just I'm a bad person or whatever. Or something along the lines they are kind of a rough, person, but deep down they're a good human being, and you want to help them and whatnot, but they refuse help. Whatever it may be. Just sit down and just be honest with them. Be you are a good person. You have good qualities. You're not bad. You're not, beyond saving, or you're not messed up or evil or unworthy or whatever. Just sit down and have a heart-to-heart with them, being like, it pains me to see what's going on with you. And it pains me that you don't think you're good enough and that you don't have any goodness in you. Just kind of do that. Just sit down and just be honest with them, Be like, I don't like seeing you like this, It's like, I know you're a good person. You have good in you. Go Luke Skywalker, be like, Father. That's my stomach. Father, I see the good in you, the conflict. There is no conflict. Apology accepted, Captain Nita. I want that ship. Sorry. I love Star Wars. Anyway, I'd say just get them, just sit down with them, have that kind of conversation, heart to heart, be honest, be caring and kind, and just be honest and just give it to them straight. It's like, I'm trying to help you, but you're not letting me. It's like, just please let me help you. Let me help you. Let me try and help you, just kind of have an honest conversation with them. That would be my advice. Other than that, I'd, talk to some other people, like family and other people and whatnot, for some more help and whatnot. But I would say, I would recommend just kind of sit down and have an honest conversation with them, So, good luck to you. Good luck to you. I hope things get better for you, honestly. So, take care. I hope you all do well, and that. Let's see if I can find some other ones. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Some old ones. What's best, M&M or Skittles? I like Skittles. I don't really eat chocolate because chocolate has a lot of fat. Like I said, I'm on a low-fat diet because of my pancreas stuff. So I don't really eat chocolate that much. I like chocolate. It's just I don't like too much. If it gets too chocolatey, it's like I'm out. I'm done. So for me, I'm going to go with Skittles on that. I like that stuff more than like chocolate, I'd say. What is your favorite video game? Oh, I think I already did this. But favorite video game of The Last of Us. Just for the heck of it. Let's see. Let's go back to some older ones. Okay. I'm Batman. Okay. That's my stomach. Hero or villain? Which do I like more? Honestly, villain. It's good to be bad. Good Lord. I'd say villain. I like villains. They're cool. How tall am I, and what color is my hair? I'm like 5'9", 5'10". 5'9", 5'10". And I have like brownish red hair. I'm like 75% brown hair, and like 75 to 80% brown hair, and like 25 to 20% like red hair. Because like my dad's side, a lot of them, they're Irish. They're very Irish. A lot of them are redheads, so I get a bit of that red hair and whatnot. Especially if you look at like pictures of me, you can definitely tell like, wow, he's got some red hair. So I'm like, I'm mostly brown, but I got a bit of red in there. So like an auburn, I think is what they call it. Auburn. Basically brownish red, which I like. I like the red, Makes me feel edgy, Just makes me feel a little interesting, a little spicy. Ah, yeah. Which would explain why I feel more pain. Ah, boy. I didn't even really think about that, actually. Makes sense now. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come back something again. I don't know. Let's look for a couple more. A couple more questions. I don't know why I'm talking like in accents for some reason. Oh well. Okay. This will be the last one. Last batch of questions. If you could be any... What the... If you could be any mythical... I'm assuming creature, what would it be and why? Why it? Even your name is the creature. I don't know. Satan? Yeah! No, I'm joking. If I could be anything, I'd probably be like a... Probably be like, what, a ghost or something? Oh, I'd be a vengeful spirit. Yeah! I'd be like, it's like I'm sent back from the great beyond to like avenge and whatnot. That's what I'd be. I'd be a vengeful spirit. Son of... Again. God. Sorry, I'm choking on bullshit. A lot of it. Okay, that time I had a cough. That wasn't a joke. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Would be a weird potato chip flavor that exists. That doesn't exist that you want to try. I don't know. I don't even know. Wow, that's a loaded question. They make like weed lays. Weed lays, like not flavor, like made with actual weed, but just like weed flavored. Yeah, if they haven't made that, I'd try that. Weed flavored, like chips or something. Not made of actual weed because it's illegal here in Kansas, but just like flavored, recreate the flavor, So. Yeah. And we'll end on a positive one. This is an old one, but any advice on how to be yourself and not care about what other people say? I might have already covered this, but hey, who gives a crap? Just be yourself, have fun, be proud. Just be like, you know what? Fuck off. Fuck off. I'm walking here. Walking here. Yeah. No, just goof off. Be happy with yourself. Be proud. Enjoy your things. Like, I like being a nerd. Just like I enjoy being a nerd, and I just be nerdy, and I don't give a crap. Just have fun. Just enjoy what makes you, you. Don't give a crap about other... I always look at it, it's like annoying people. It's like, this is literally not... Like, within a couple minutes, none of this is going to matter. It's like, this is all going to be a memory I'm thinking about when I'm laying in bed at the early mornings that happened years ago. It's like, none of this is going to matter, So don't give a crap. Because in the end, everything's going to be dead and gone, and nothing's going to matter. That's a little nihilistic. No, but really, in the end, like, none of it's going to matter. It's all good. So just enjoy being yourself. Enjoy what you like, what you do. And just be happy, Just don't give a crap, basically. Don't give a crap. So, that wraps up this episode of the podcast. Angry-ish edition. I swear for like 30 minutes I was just ranting. Like, if you would have caught me 5 minutes before the podcast, you would have just been like, this dude is angry. I was so just just the stupid bike. Like, why do we have to worry? Why? Why do I have to worry about this bike? You know, it's just like, it's like, just, good Lord. But that's all behind me. Water under the bridge, as they say. Wherever that saying came from. You know what? I'll end on one note. You know where this term scapegoat came from? I learned this from an episode of the Monday Morning Podcast with Bill Burr, which is my favorite podcast. This podcast is very inspired by him because I'm a huge fan of the guy. I worship him, and I've watched a lot of his podcasts. So he was one of the, many inspirations for this podcast and whatnot. The kind of chill, just humorous, fun, just who gives a crap podcast. That's not bad. Who gives a crap podcast? If anybody wants to use that, just go ahead. There's probably somebody who has already used that. Everybody has a podcast these days. Even your mom. But no, the way the term scapegoat, if I remember correctly, it originated like way back in the day. What would happen is like people in villages would like sin and whatnot, and they would go to their like local priest and be like, yo, I did all these things. I'm going to tell you all my sins. And the priest is like, okay. Priest is like, okay, cool. I'll write this stuff down. And then, I'm not kidding. This is apparently something that's real. You know what? I'm going to look it up right now because I need to check this to make sure I'm not like just like having a stroke or something. Wow, that is beautiful. I'm looking at a picture of like Yukon, Canada. Wow, that's beautiful. Yukon, Alaska, or Canada. Where the term scapegoat comes from and what would happen. Oh my God, I think it's actually true. Holy crap. But it's true. It's true. It's true, if not partly true. Oh my God. So what would happen is like they would tell the priest the sins, and then the priest would like remember all of them. And what he would do is he would then go find a goat, and then he'd place his hand on the goat and imbue the goat with all of the sins everybody made. This is insane, by the way. This is how insane people were back in the day. And it's insane that it's like all these people sin, but this poor goat is just like, what the hell? This ain't my fault. You did this stuff. Isn't that hilarious? That's just so humanity. Let's just blame other people for our problems. So what would happen is the priest would place his hand on the goat and imbue the goat with all the sins. And they'd like march the goat through the town, and all the people would just be yelling at the goat like, yeah, you jerk, you sinner. And it's like, what? Then, if I remember correctly, they're like just marched off into the wilderness or off a cliff. I'm not kidding. They just outright killed the thing or just marched it off into the middle of nowhere. Mother of God. Wow. That's insane. Hold on. No way. No fucking way. No way. Hold on. Oh my God. Oh my. Yeah, they did. Oh my God, it's real. They would throw the goat off a cliff after imbuing it with all their sins. Oh my God. Well, that has been the Knights of Lucky podcast. I think episode 12. 12, 13, 14. Who knows? Who gives a crap? Maybe it's even 15 or 16 or 17. Who knows? But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned. I'm going to be posting tons of content all the time. So, I hope you all enjoyed this and take care. See you around. Poor goats.